Hello, everybody. So I don't know why I don't record everything I record for this channel like this. So I was almost done with this 11-minute video. I was just giving it one more pass and thought I would start to work on the thumbnail art when I took a long, hard look at Cable and realized that he does not naturally have Psionic, which I feel like undercuts a lot of the things I'm going to say, and means that in order to do all the things that I'm already judging aggression against with Cable, also implies that you go and get his techno-organic side scheme immediately and turn on Psionic so that all the cards that have that Psionic trait lock actually work. I don't know if that really changes what I have to say, because in order, I guess everything that I'm saying is under the pretense that I actually have the techno-organic side scheme already in the victory display, which is not something that I was necessarily judging the deck that I talk about against, but it's just something to keep in mind. I didn't want to scrap this entire idea just because I was dumb and didn't pay close enough attention to that. Just lesson learned. Be a better Cable player. Go get that side scheme if you care about the Psionic trade. But yeah, on to the talking points. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time you're watching this. I hope you're having a good version of that. So here I am trying out something new just because I have a sickness and I just want to turn everything into content. So I am preparing for my Cable kind of new player pack review where we talk about the Nemesis kit and everything in the 15 card kit. And because Cable came out a year ago, and I find him to be great in leadership, I find him to be superb in justice and protection, I would say I've probably gotten in 3 or 4 games with kind of nothing impressive to me, but I might also be playing him wrong. I think that's the caveat I want to put in front of every single one of my hero discussions is not every hero is for everybody. I've made it vocal that Psylocke is not a character for me. In other games, I love that kind of comboing off, and she has so many moving pieces that I think I would like her, and maybe once I get more attuned to her, maybe my opinions will change, but I did make it vocal 2 weeks ago, or last week, that she's just not the hero for me. And I kind of felt the same way about Cable, where I was like, I love what he does, I love his introduction of side schemes, but I just don't know if he's the hero for me. And then I realized that I've never tried him in aggression, as far as I can remember. So I went online and I found a deck. Let me see if I can track it down. Oh, no, it's on my phone. It's not on my computer. Either way, so I found a deck, and I will have it in the description. I'll have it up on screen here real quick. That was just a aggression deck that I guess wasn't from somebody that I had heard of. I wanted to focus in on somebody who's not just somebody that if you are into the Marvel CDB community, you're like, oh yeah, that's this person. Like, I know them. I wanted to try to highlight somebody else. And so I thought, as I was playtesting this, I recorded the 3 games I played against Dark Beast, and Claw, just as an exploratory thing, not as anything that was actually this was not going to get turned into content, but I thought maybe the playtest games would be a nice backdrop to this video idea where I would like to just play through a deck that the community has built. Like I said, somebody who's not necessarily the first person that would come to mind that most people would recognize, but just maybe a deck that doesn't even have any likes on it, but just to see what is an interpretation of this hero in an aspect that I just don't know a lot about. And so I played through the game with Cable and aggression, and I still stand by the fact that I'm just not a huge Cable player. I love that he brought side schemes to the game. I love his loop. I love that he can ready up when a side scheme is defeated. And I love his front up ability where he can go get a side scheme at the beginning of the game. And actually that's something that comes up right away. So in the first game I played, I did not account for the fact that I had Mind Scan in my hand. I should have just went and got Techno Virus Purge. And I didn't. I went and got something else. I don't recall at the moment, and I don't have it in front of me. I love that ability to basically set up your hand and go, what can I just ditch? Like, I should have, in the second game I played, I mulliganed, and I didn't mulligan away one side scheme. And then I ended up saying, once I had looked at my mulliganed hand, I decided this is the side scheme I should get. I think a general rule of thumb that I've now learned from this, and I might have learned this a year ago, but I'm kind of relearning it, is that unless you have a really good reason to say, regardless of what I see in my hand, I'm getting this side scheme, you should probably just ditch every side scheme you draw, because you can just, if you need it so badly, just go grab it from the discard pile and put it into play with the Nathan ability. So all that aside, I will say that in trying to explore this particular deck, one of the things that got me was I found this deck to be a little clunky. And I should also preface, just like how every hero is not for everybody, I'm not saying that this deck needs to be scrutinized, but it's the deck that I chose. I said, okay, this looks like a good aggression Cable deck. Let me get an idea of what Cable looks like in aggression. So this is not supposed to be a teardown of anybody. It's just a commentary on what I saw. And so I liked trying to get a use out of Cybo Attack and Psychic Assault. That's I think part of the core reason why you would even want to move into aggression is to use the Psionic only cards in a Psionic deck. But what I kind of walked away with was that I did wish that I could have been using I value the other aspects more, because Cybo Attack, which costs 2, is a psionic attack. You can only use it if you're psionic traded, and it's a hero action. Deal 4 damage to an enemy. This attack gains surge. This attack gains surge. This attack gains ranged. Really cool. I like the cost. I think that it is. The lightning resource that's on it helps to feed into Cable's gun. I think there's other cards in his kit. Are there other cards in his kit that care about lightning? I think there are. The Ascani Sun card. And was there one more? I feel like there might have been. Grey Malkin makes a lightning resource. Okay. So, I mean, he does have 2 cards in his kit that care about lightning resources. Cybo Attack has that on it. What was the other card? Psionic Assault. Psionic Assault, also same story. 2 costs, attack Psionic, deal 3 damage to an enemy, confuse that enemy, also uses an energy resource on it. Overall, I think that the Psionic traded cards feed into what Kayla wants to do, but repeatedly I found myself saying, I would rather use these as a resource than actually use the card. And at that point, if I'm doing that, and the reason why I picked aggression was to play with psionic traded cards, well, I don't even need those. I mean, Hone Technique I drew multiple times, did not use it because I kept looking at it going, I'm using the Cybo and the Psychic Assault to take out minions more than I'm taking out the villain. And under different circumstances where, I'm not playing against Dark Beast, who, the longer I play with Dark Beast, the more I realize that he is just Rhino reincarnated. Because while the main scheme has more threat can be put onto it to lose, because of environments like Genosha, that sort of just disappears. Because every time Dark Beast attacks, you're gaining threat anyway. And I got bad luck. I got Genosha both times I played. This could very well change if I had gotten the Savage Land or the Dark Side of the Moon. I think I did eventually transition to the Dark Side of the Moon, which deals 1 damage as special. But overall, Dark Beast is just a low-ish threat scheme that you have to manage while also doing other things. And you'd think that Cable would be the best hero to take on side scheme or scheme-heavy decks, or schemes-heavy scenarios like Dark Beast, and especially Red Skull. And what I've discovered is I'm not good enough to play against Red Skull most days. I need to build specifically for it. And even with Cable, who seems like the side scheme annihilator, it's no good for me. So back to this deck, and back to the general experience. I will say that, and maybe this is in closing, I figure, I don't know what's playing right now. I know one of the games is probably playing at a sped up speed, but and maybe we won't even see the entire game. I didn't win any of my games. Let's be straightforward there. But I did not find a reason why I would want to play aggression with Cable. And because all the cards that cared about it, I either did not feel like I was getting a good enough use out of, or I kind of sat there wanting the cards and the other aspects. So since Cable can use any side scheme, he can go across all the aspects if he wants to. Cybo Attack, Psychic Assault, Wolverine, Sunfire, and Psylocke, and I guess Hone Technique. But those aggression cards did not mean enough to me that I was happy to be in the aggression aspect. And so while this is kind of a all over the place kind of discussion about this, what I will say is this has no leaning on the deck or the deck builder, but the general idea of Cable in aggression, I can definitively say is just not for me. Let me just look up, because there was one other one made by Brian V. Let's see what he chose to use. Psylocke, Sunfire, Wolverine. Yeah, actually, he uses all the same aggression cards. There's some decisions here. Okay, yeah, like Power of the Mind, I can see that being useful. This deck was also built, I think, like several months after the box had come out, so they had a little bit more ability to make educated decisions. Yeah, I will definitively say, Cable, just not an aggression hero for me. I wanted him to be good. I wanted his ability to handle side schemes to offset the fact that basically all of his other cards were going to be aimed at attacking, and that's just not the case. I would love for it to be different, but for me, it wasn't. That it just there's not a good enough reason to put Cable into aggression for me. And so I think every time I go to test out a hero, like we're going to be talking about Domino this week, I don't need to test Domino. I don't need to do an episode like this, the week following Domino in other aspects. I can speak very intelligently about it, but I think anytime that I go out of my way to say, I need to understand this hero, I imagine I'll probably be doing this with like Gambit. I don't have a lot of experience with Gambit. I don't have a lot of experience with Cyclops necessarily, other than like a jokey deck I built. So look forward to following new player guides for the heroes, that there might be a video like this that just kind of fills that space of topic of discussion for the week. But until next time, I will see you when we look at the Domino pack. And once again, I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, or evening, and I will catch you later.